Hi everyone, this is Liz from Creative Life of Liz, and I'm here planning for the week of March 31st through April 6th. This is in my B&R Paper Crafts Plan B planner. This week I am using this sticker book, which is a mega pack from the Happy Planner. This is the rainbow style. I don't think this specific one is available anymore, but there are some other options. And I've used this several times before, but basically it has a bunch of stickers that go across the rainbow of colors. So that's what I'm going to use for this month. I am going to pull in a couple of extras. I did pull in 2 washies. This one is from Michaels, and this one is a really old one from AliExpress, but they're both rainbow colored, so I thought they would be good for bottom washi there. And then I did also pull in a Pilot G2. This is a 0.07 in black, which I'm going to put up for the days of the week, the dates, that kind of stuff. There are like letters and stuff in here, but they transition between colors, and so that felt like it was going to bother me. So we're going to avoid that situation and just not deal with it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put in the days and dates. I am also, in each color, there are some spots where you get these little like washi strips. I am going to pull in each of these strips to be the top header. I don't need middle headers because I'm going to send the boxes through the middle, and then I'm going to put in the bottom washi as well. So I'm going to do that stuff, which is probably going to take me a little while, but I'm going to do that stuff, and then I will be right back so that we can do the interesting bits. All right, here is where we are at so far with the setup. I think it's looking cute. The pen did smudge just a bit, but we're gonna go with it and we're just gonna move on. If you'll notice, I started with orange here. I also picked like the turquoise and the blue. Hopefully I can put in some darker blue to kind of balance it out, but this is where the little washi strips were. But that's because I'm gonna put red here. So if you're wondering what happened to red, that's why. So I think my plan was to minimize or not use foiled things as much as possible. There is mostly gold foil in here. There's also some red foil in here and some silver foil in here. My goal is to mostly skip foil. So I'm gonna, as much as possible, pick things without foil. So that means for the red box, this is the only red full box that doesn't have foil. So starting out there, pretty strong, doing great. Moving into the next chunk. All right, so these are gonna be the orange and pink options, which are not super orange and pink. So, or orange and yellow, I mean. We're gonna just have to make it work as best as possible. So I'm gonna use this, yeah, I think, so I was gonna see, I don't think that's gonna work. Okay, so I'm gonna use this guy that's kind of peachy colored here as the orange one. It's not perfect, but I think it transitions okay. And then I'm going to use this one as the yellow one, like so. And then this next chunk in here is where I skipped a color because there's like so many of this mint color. There's 2 different versions. There's this mint color and then there's this mint color. And they are basically the same, so I might end up pulling something from this mint to fill in this line. We're gonna see how it goes. But for sure, I want to use something that's actually green here. Let's see. I think I'm gonna try to go with like some positive vibes maybe. There There we go. And then we move on to the second half of this stack. So this is what I mean by here's the other mint, and like they are so similar to each other, right? This also is a silver foiled section. So there we go. I need to find something that is as blue as possible, which this is the most blue, but then it has foiling on it. So that's kind of annoying. I don't think any of these really help me any. Yeah. All right, so we're just gonna use some silver foiling and it's gonna be fine to mix in. All right, there we go. So then I need a turquoise, which I'm gonna try. I think maybe this one. And then we move into the last section, which is purple and pink. This is kind of like a corally pink overall. So I could do this one or this one. I think I'll do this one. Get two different purples in there. And then I need like a pink. I could go like full on pink. I think I'm gonna do like a corally pink though. Oh no. I just tore this box, but hopefully once I put it down, it's not gonna be obvious. All right, that is where we are at so far. I think it's looking pretty good overall. Definitely very rainbowy. So let's move into the daily stuff. So first off, the sidebar. I'm gonna kind of try to shift this way a little so that I can show you whatever's going on here as well. So I think first off, I want to use one of these little strips because I can, and then it kind of like matches the other days a little bit. There we go. There are no like habit tracker type things in here, which is fine. But just kind of a factor to keep in mind if you're going to use this as a weekly setup kind of situation. Let's see. So these guys only have 6 there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of these today headers, even though it's going to be for meals, so only kind of today, but that's fine. And I'm going to pull one of these. Lay it down like so. Why can I not make this straight? All right, that's pretty close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. I'm just gonna have to combine the weekend, but I think there's gonna be enough space, so we're gonna squish it in and make it work. And then this has a tiny bit of pink, but I think overall it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna stick this guy in. Works better if I start lining up on this side. There we go. That is not straight. I'm gonna try to line it up to the bottom line. There we go. All right, and and that's going to just be for a couple of plants. So I'm just going to fill in here. This is going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I'm just going to put Saturday/Sunday, like so. Okay, day one done. This is always much harder than I anticipate it being when I use this particular sticker book. Okay, moving into the next days. So Monday, Tuesday, I want to put in something for work. Maybe I'll use these little like arrow guys. So an arrow. I'm just going to pull in the one for Tuesday while I'm here. An arrow, great. I also want to put in, nope, wrong color. On Monday, I have a video going up. And then otherwise, I don't know Monday plans right now. Tuesday, we have curling here at the end of the day. So I'm going to fill that in. Wednesday, I think we're kind of transitioning over to here. So I'm going to pull in a little arrow guy here for Wednesday. And then Wednesday evening, what kind of box do I want? Maybe I'll use this box. I have the start of our work retreat. We have like a team building social activity kind of thing. Not a very good description, but whatever. I don't have like a super obvious kind of icon to use for that. I guess I'll use this little food one since we're gonna have dinner while we were there. All right, I think that covers the first half of the week as well as it's gonna go. Moving into the second half, I don't think you can see this stuff in my stickers, but you're just gonna have to trust that I am doing my best. This is where the days start to get a little bit weirder. I am going to use, I think this guy, to mark it's a work retreat day. So I'm going to put that in like so. And then we have another spot in which cocktails would be helpful in the stickers, but we don't have that. I'm going to use like a little diamond. We have like an optional cocktail thing at the end of the night, which I will probably go to there. And then on Friday, it is, honestly, I feel like I should have used a bigger box for the retreat because that's going to take up like all of my brain power. Whatever, we're just going to leave it and we're going to call it good. And I'm going to use the same size for Friday. So work retreat day. I also have a video that's going to go up there. And then in the evening, I don't think I have any, yeah, I was seeing if any of the like random stickers were super appropriate. But I don't think any of them are super helpful. So I'm going to just put down here, I think I'm going to use this style box. My parents are coming to town for the weekend. I guess I'll just use a little location guy. Sure. There we go. All right. And then the weekend, I have no idea what we're doing because it's whatever my parents feel like doing. So I think I'm just going to stick this to the side to use during the week. And we're going to call this the pre-planning setup right now. this is where we have gotten to. I think it's looking pretty good, definitely empty, but it should look pretty fun and rainbowy once we're done. So stick around for just a second and you can see the finished spread. All right, here's the finished spread. It only has this tiny bit of foil, but it looks super cute. I do love how rainbow it is. Sorry, the lighting's a little mediocre. The outside is just mediocre right now. But I do think that the week turned out really cute and I love this rainbow. I, of course, have a ton left in this sticker book. I'm not even going to flip through it because that would take us forever. But I do think I used the kit / sticker book pretty well and really just used that for this entire week. Just that Pilot pen, which I should not use again because it's very smeary on this particular paper. And then the Michaels washi and the AliExpress million-year-old washi. But I think it turned out cute and it was a kind of crazy week. Really busy with work and then the work retreat and then a bit of family time and then some like personal stuff going on that meant family time got changed. Anyway, it was a long week, mostly good week, but a long week. But I do think that it turned out cute in my planner. So that's all I have for today. As always, please like and subscribe below if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. It helps me out. Let me know how your week went down below, or if you don't have anything that you want to leave me some sort of rainbow emoji down below just to say hi. I'd love to hear from you. And then follow me on Instagram and Blue Sky at Creative Life of Liz. I show in progress and finished spreads. I also tag all the shops on Instagram, mention them in the alt text on Blue Sky, show you bits and pieces of my life, what I'm reading, all that good stuff. And until next time, bye.